Welcome back. I'm in conversation with the great Parminder Rayet from the great Azaad group as well. But obviously, by you going solo, did you have a word with the lads? Did you say, I'm obviously taking the name Azaad forward, you know, I want to go single, when, you know?
I think Azaad, I mean, the name is there for everyone to use. I mean, no one's got, you know, a lock on it right now. I mean, we got Azaad, the toll group going in Wolverhampton
by
Harjit Singh,
yeah, he's doing,
and they're doing very well. We say, yeah, use the name. It's free.
Nobody else, obviously. Only the Azaad members can use it.
Members, yeah.
You might get some impersonators like pretending to be Azaad playing in, I don't know, Middle East somewhere or something, and people are sitting there going, they must have aged by now. Obviously, but you come in with Punjabi flavours, your new album, which came out last week.
No, it's coming out.
Which came out last week, yeah. You're sure? It came out last week, yeah. It came out last week. Obviously, I mean, I think I heard you on Real Talk somewhere that you were actually saying that the music scene has changed, obviously, from your days. And how do you feel about the music scene now? Because obviously you've done your album with some new twists, new music. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I think there's been a lot of changes, mostly with technology, you know, we've sort of gone on. I wouldn't say the new music is bad. I mean, because there's been good and bad, you know, all the time. I mean, there was good and bad back in the past, and there's good and bad now. But changes have come through technology, really. I mean, we used to spend hours and hours and days and weeks in the studio. Now you can do all your pre-production at home and take it to the studio. But the only thing that I feel sad about is that the live music instruments, they've sort of gone a little bit. People are just using samples. It's so easy, you know, rather than calling some guitarists that can, you know, just press a key and get the same sound, which is a bit sad.
Yeah, I mean, do you also feel that in those days, possibly, like you said, you spent so long in the studio, so many people had input into making an album, and maybe people practiced more as well, because at some point you're going to take that music and you're going to perform it live. Then you've got to get the live sound out of it.
Yeah, I mean, the process is so simplified nowadays. I mean, back in the days, we used to go to the writers like
So
you
used to go next door. Uncle ji, recording lagega na gana dasyo, because you live more or less next door to the great Jandulitra.
That's right. But we used to have a batch of songs from all different writers, and we say, just get about 5, 6 songs. And then we just sit down, and it was like a group sort of thing.
Right.
Now you sort of do everything on your own, go into the studio. But back in the days, it was like a live, you know, you used to have a little room in a rehearsal room in a pub. Used to go there and spend 2 or 3 hours just working on one song, and then the singer would have to get used to the melody, change different melodies, and then the keyboard player would work on some pieces. Then you go into the studio and start right from the beginning.
Yeah, so making the new album, I mean, it seems like, the way you explained it to me, that you've actually missed that. You missed that side for coming out with this new album.
Because you know, when you're a band, you have sort of different minds coming up with different ideas. When you're on your own, you say, I'll go along with this way. But it's nice to have sort of input from other people.
Yeah.
And
you could have phoned them up and said, "Bonso, kidna main laga album ka, acha tu album ka mainu dasya nahi."
But the other advantage is that you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. You know, you've got your, you know.
You can go with how you feel,
whichever song you want to do.
Whatever you want to do as well. I mean, you know, we talked about the great gender, obviously, Wolverhampton. We were talking about Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
See, I have this argument because my wife is from Wolverhampton, and I think Wolverhampton, and the producer of this show is from Wolverhampton, should have never been given city status. It should have been Smethwick in Birmingham. That should have become a city.
Wolverhampton deserves it.
But great bands came out of Wolverhampton.
A lot of talent in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, you've got the Sahota. Yeah, okay, we heard. Yeah, Saga. People speaking here. You got the Sahotas coming out of there as well, and you got Jazzmon. What did it? Was it Spaceship or something?
Spaceman.
Spaceman and
Corner Shop.
It's Corner Shop from also from Derby. Wolverhampton.
Wednesday, just on the outskirts.
Yeah, see, they're not Wolverhampton party. You're laying claim to, see, West Brom might say, actually, you know.
And Intermix as well.
Who?
Intermix. My friend Onks.
Can't remember. We'll get him in the show. Obviously influenced by great likes, and in your new album as well, you featured Shiri. ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਫਰਿਹਾਦ obviously ਮਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੁਲਦੀਪ ਮਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੱਥ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਤੇਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਵੇ ਆਸ਼ਕ ਪਰਵਤ ਚੀਰੀ ਨਾਲੇ ਮੁੱਖੋਂ ਬੋਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਫਰਿਹਾਦ ਹੈ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ Tell why did you want to bring that? Why did you want to bring Shiri to the forefront?
ਇਹ ਗੀਤ ਸੀ because ਆਪਣੇ ਹੀਰ ਰੰਜ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਮਹੀਵਾਲ ਸੱਸੀ ਪੁੰਨੂ ਦੇ ਗੀਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ ਮਿਰਜ਼ਾ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਂ hundreds of songs ਪਰ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਫਰਿਹਾਦ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਗਾਣੇ ਸੀ ਐਂਡ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੀਤ ਹੈ ਜੰਡੂ ਲਿਤਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਾ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਖਵੀਰ ਲੱਖੀ the late ਲਖਵੀਰ ਲੱਖੀ from the ਸਾਥੀ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਗਾਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਬਟ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਜੰਡੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਗਾਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਾਲੇ ਇਹ ਗਾਣੇ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਫਰਿਹਾਦ ਦੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ why don't you record it again ਜੀ ਤੇ that's how this song came about I've always loved the melody
would you share a couple of lines of it with us please
because ਚਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿੰਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਹਾਏ ਬਲਦੀ ਅੱਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾੜਦਿਆਂ ਇੱਕ ਨਹਿਰ ਕੀ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਅੰਬਰੋਂ ਤਾਰੇ ਝਾੜਦਿਆਂ ਚਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿੰਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਹਾਏ ਬਲਦੀ ਅੱਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾੜਦਿਆਂ ਹਾਏ ਬਲਦੀ ਅੱਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾੜਦਿਆਂ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੋਰ ਝੂਠ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੋਰ ਝੂਠ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੁਰ ਦਰਗਾਹੋਂ ਲਿਖੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਸ਼ੀਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਿੱਸੇ ਉਹ ਪਰਬਤ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਧਰਤੀ ਜੜੋਂ ਉਖਾੜ ਦਿਆਂ ਚਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿੰਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਲਦੀ ਅੱਗ ਤੇ ਸਾੜ ਦਿਆਂ ਹਾਏ ਬਲਦੀ ਅੱਗ ਤੇ ਸਾੜ ਦਿਆਂ
Wow. I mean, obviously, like you said, he Ranja Mirza Sahib. We know those stories as well. Tell us the story of Shiri Fariad, because obviously, was she the queen of Turkey or something?
Shiri Fariad, Persian queen, princess ਸੀਗੀ
right
ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਬੰਦੋਬਸਤ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੀ
right okay
ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਰਿਆਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਇਹ ਸਟੋਨ ਕਟਰ ਦੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਚੋਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੀ ਜਦ ਨਜ਼ਰ
translation for today yeah brilliant
ਇਹਦੀ ਜਦ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੈਸ ਐਂਡ ਹੀ ਜਸਟ ਇਨ ਓਵਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਦੇਖੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹ ਰਾਜੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੀਰ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੱਸਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਗਰੀਬ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੈਸ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਜ਼ੀਰ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹ ਬੇਵਕੂਫ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਟਾਸਕ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ
ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਹਨਾ
ਜੀ
ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਹ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪਹਾੜੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਨਹਿਰ ਆ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਉਹ ਪਹਾੜੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਰਾਹ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਰਿਵਰ ਇੱਧਰ ਦੀ ਪਰਬਤ ਚੀਰ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇੱਧਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਕਨਾਲ ਕੱਢ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਜਦ ਤੂੰ ਇਹ ਟਾਸਕ ਕਰ ਲੂੰਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾ ਲਈ
right
ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋਣਾ ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਲੱਗਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਈ ਸਾਲ ਹਨਾ ਨਾ ਸੌਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ
ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਲ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ
ਉਹ ਹਟਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਟਾਸਕ ਉਹ ਲਾਗੇ ਆਉਣ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਉਹ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰ ਲੈ ਨੀਅਰਲੀ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਬੜਾ ਚਲਾਕ ਨਿਕਲ ਪਿਆ ਇਹ ਇੰਨੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ
ਵਾਲਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ
ਤੇ ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਕੁੜੀ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੈਸ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਮਿਲਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਵੱਧ ਜਾਂਦਾ
ਦਿਲ ਜਿਹਾ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ
ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੇਇੱਜ਼ਤੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੀ ਪਈ ਇਹਨੇ
ਜੀ
ਗਰੀਬ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੈਸ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਜਨਾਨੀ ਭੇਜਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੂੰ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮਰ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਦਿਲ ਟੁੱਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਮਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ
all right what a sad story Bart sorry I'm smiling but it's just very sad
ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੈਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਦ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਤ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ
oh so she
goes there to him
visit him and then
that's just one version of the story
and then she kind of just sort of evaporate it is a bit sad I take my remark about the desi Punjabi I don't mean that all Punjabis are you know kamle jab mere matlab Punjabi ਇਦਾਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਸ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਛੱਡਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ that's what I meant by that remark or I'll be getting emails ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਢਾਲਣਾ ਸੀ
no wrestling's allowed no physical violence is allowed on here but obviously Shiri Fariad and we talked about the exchange of music now from the days of the did you actually do an album with Harjinder Bopara as well
well Harjinder Bopara was part of the band
he was and you were telling me Balvinder Safri first when he obviously came to
we just talking
to the UK as well
1981.
Wow.
81. We started off together. But Harjinder was there from the beginning.
Was it not good enough for your band? Was it just Josh, do then? Or was it too good? No, sorry.
No. It was just mutual. He said, I want to try.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Then he went to Satranga, I think, after that.
Ashoka, I think.
Was he Ashoka? Oh, yeah. Yes, sorry. And then he went somewhere else. Anyway.
Yeah. But Harjinder was like part of the band from the beginning.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah,
and 1990, he sort of he got a new job and he started to decide.
Great music. I mean, his name, obviously, we talk about Deepak all the time, bringing Bhangra. But Harjinder Bopara is unsung hero.
Yeah, he was like I said that time, there was no sort of individual that sort of produced. We all worked together.
Yeah.
We would say like, okay, you do the rhythm section, and Hardeep used to do the keyboard section, and the vocals and the melodies used to be left with us. So we worked as a team.
So it was easy in those days, I suppose, because every person had their own little responsibility or their own little responsibility. What is your all-time favourite Azaad song ever?
Oh,
if you kind of like, you know, obviously I quite liked Khedne Ko Baddi. That was
Khedne, I used to love singing that. That used to have a lot of energy, and I used to love singing that live.
And I can imagine you used to go. You used to do the moves. Share a couple of lines of that with us, please.
ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਖੇਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਉਹ ਖੇਲਦੇ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਖੇਡਣੀ ਕਬੱਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਖੇਡਣੀ ਕਬੱਡੀ ਉਹ ਕੋਡੀ 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 ਖੇਡਣੀ ਕਬੱਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਖੇਡਣੀ ਕਬੱਡੀ ਉਹ ਖੇਡਣੀ ਕਬੱਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਖੇਡਣੀ ਕਬੱਡੀ.
That's a working out song, guys. Actually, you should really release that.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine all the Benji aunties doing your kabaddi sort of
Will you be in the video with your leotard?
Well, I don't wear a leotard, but I'll happily be in the video. मेरे को पूछना नहीं video you know, yeah, Paji, I think it'd be
It's business.
Okay. Shake hands. Yeah. Okay. No, we'll talk about finances as well.
Next Christmas.
ज़माना change हो गया हुन. असि किन मेरी मम कहती तू हुन किन्ने चाहे लोक सेवा करी जानी. मैं कोई नहीं मम हुन थोड़े जे मैं कमाने जोगा हो गया. But in those days as well, Paji, I mean, what do you think is the cause of the live bands going? What do you think? A lot of people blame DJs, but are DJs really to blame, or did live bands just went out of hand with what they were charging, and the sound was so similar?
I don't think it was a matter of money. I mean, I think some of the DJs used to charge more than us these days. I mean, it's just that there was a time, it was DJs. I mean, you know, the bread and butter of the bands was the wedding scene. You know, but I think when youngsters, they wanted different genders of music playing at weddings and shows. You know, they wanted a bit of R&B in there or something like that. And I think that's when sort of things changed. And plus the music scene was changing as well, I said, with the samples and that. Yeah. And
I mean, did you guys actually feel that? Did you actually sat down one day and thought, you know what, we're not really kind of, it's not happening now. Is that what stopped you from?
Yeah, I think the spark went a little bit.
Right.
I think
and does that happen? Does that happen in a band? Because it wasn't only you guys. I mean, obviously, you know, up in a group, when Hira, although they came and said we never split up, but
it was like a domino effect. I think and no band can say, oh well, we survived that period. I think everyone sort of felt it, and that's when the scene changed around, you know, like the year 2000.
And how did you guys feel? Was it kind of a depressive moment for you?
It was. I mean, you know, we never used to have a weekend free, and suddenly we're sitting at home on a Saturday and Sunday. So what do we do on a Saturday and Sunday? You know.
Didn't the wife say, "You're home now. The washing needs doing. The kids need feeding."
It was depressive because you had to do all these chores that you never did before. But it was quite emotional because, you know, you used to sort of playing in front of live audience, having a great fun, and suddenly you're sitting at home. It was depressing.
Because as an artist, I suppose, it is a bit of a come down, isn't it? From, like you said, performing, and then you're kind of like doing nothing. It just kind of brings you down a bit.
I mean, it's not about, I mean, we all had other jobs and stuff and our work, but we definitely sort of missed the music scene. I mean, it hit us hard.
Okay. You've come back, so what made you want to come back? Or why now? Or why not a couple of years ago? Why not wait another couple of years? Obviously, the music is still inside you. It's still yearning to come out.
Yeah,
why now? Why is the time
it's been about 10 years since we packed it in, and everywhere I go, I mean, I go into a bar, in a pub, or go to a wedding or somewhere, I always meet someone say, "Paji, tusi Azaad group chhad ko ditta? You know, you used to love your songs. Why don't you do something about it?" I say, "Haan, main karda hai. You know, haan, main karda hai." I've been going on like that for about 10 years now. And everywhere I go, and it wasn't like people just my age. There's youngsters that say, oh, my dad's and mom and dad's got all your cassettes and your albums, you know. And then I used to meet guys with like white dadi and say, tu mere biyah te gaya si. Right, I was like, acha? 30 years ago, yeah, okay, do you remember?
Wow.
I said, 30 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
And I had so much sort of love from these people. I just thought I'd do something for them.
Yeah, and I think in those days as well, the influence that you guys did have on youngsters wanting to join with Punjabi, with culture, I think you guys must be given credit for that. No, obviously not those ones who used to skive and go to the daytime.
No, we never did daytime.
Yeah, yes, you did. I remember you did.
We had teachers in our bands.
You all did them. Yeah, yeah. You did.
We had teachers in our bands who couldn't do it.
Because Cash is a teacher as well. They couldn't get the days off, that's why. Otherwise we would have done it. We'll be back after this short break.